So I know I'm a little bit late to this, but the GudaGuda event date has actually been confirmed, and I still wanted to go ahead and make a video talking about it just in case somebody didn't see the tweet or maybe they're not aware of when Himiko is actually going to be dropping. So I thought I'd go ahead and put this video out just talking about when the event's going to go live. Also kind of talk about Himiko and Saito, Hajime, all the other servants that are going to be coming out for the GudaGuda event, so you can kind of see what they can do before I actually put out my proper review for them and see if maybe you want to spend your Saint Quartz on them when they come out in about, what, 5 days from when this video is going up. So yeah, we're going to talk about that and more in today's video. If you guys have not already, though, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for that sweet, sweet daily FGO content. You know your boy is always out here trying to make sure you have something FGO related to watch every single day. Also, if you want to see me play FGO live or other games, as I'm kind of branching out into trying out other games here and there, I stream every weekday over on my Twitch, usually starting around 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I'm going to try to push that back to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I usually stop around 9 to 10, and if I push it back an hour, that'll give me a little bit of extra time to continue streaming. So I'm going to see if I can't make that work. So, you know, if the earlier time works out a little bit better for you, you might actually be able to catch a stream now. Finally, I'm going to be hosting a Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel tournament this Saturday, $150 cash prize to the winner. Just DM me on Discord what deck you want to play, send me a deck list, all that good stuff, and be there at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to either participate or come out and just chill and watch with us, you know, hang out with the boys, all that good stuff and more. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into the actual meat and potatoes of the video. So first and foremost, the actual date. It's going to be on the 14th. That is going to be, let me check the calendar, next Wednesday. All right, so next Wednesday is when we're going to be getting this event. A couple days from now gives you a little bit of time to prepare any little bits of extra Saint Quartz you're going to want to go ahead and get. We're almost assuredly going to get these 6 Saint Quartz here. I doubt we're going to miss out on this social media campaign. We always hit these. FGO is way too big of a franchise to ever miss out on these. So we're gonna get the 6 Saint Quartz, maybe finish up some interludes, some rank up quests, get yourself a little bit of extra Saint Quartz to try and get yourself prepped for Himiko coming out. But if you're not aware, a lot of people have been freaking out over this servant. She's kind of a big deal because she's like the secondary buster support that we have right now on the NA version of the game. And even after Koyenskaya comes out, she can either be like a really good buster support or just a broken DPS crit servant. Like, she's just really solid all around. And if we actually pull up the characters that are going to be coming out for the event and we look at Himiko's kit over here, she's just got like a bunch of like really nutty skills. I mean, first and foremost here, she has like a very, very strong charisma. If you have 2 Himikos, you can overlap these to have like infinite stars and a really solid attack for the entire party at 40%. I mean, that in and of itself is stupid broken. She also, let's talk about this one. I want to talk about this one first. She has like 50% battery to get her to like the most broken NP for like just party damage of like all time. Now, maybe not of all time, but it's nuts, right? It gives everybody like fat buster damage, fat overcharge, and just like huge crit damage. Now, the funny thing is that this is when Buster starts to get their niche of messing around into overcharge and like being able to consistently get overcharge and stuff. So you could start just spamming around just like 75 to like even 100% crit buffs, right? Especially if you got a higher NP Himiko and you're already like a naturally overcharging with her. Because again, if you run 2 of them, you can just start having them mess around with each other with that, especially with their 50% batteries. And she's also gonna bite pretty hard with her 100% buster crit damage. God forbid you bring like a Merlin or something into the equation, or a Koyenskaya when she comes out. Things just get really filthy really quickly. And her second skill, I would just say, is like the icing on the cake, because it gives her a little bit of extra buster damage that maybe if you don't go for the NP5 Himiko, you know, you could still, with her NP and her second skill, have a 60% buster buff, which is really strong, especially if you're just doing buster crit damage. I mean, look at someone like Super Orion, who's got like a buster mana burst plus crit damage. She's going to be doing like similar things, except kind of making it to where the entire party can do that. And then getting like a special damage mod against demonic guys is not bad. Again, I feel like in the last couple of videos, we've been talking about a lot of characters that have demonic special damage mods and stuff. So just reference any of those videos. It's really good though. There's a decent chunk of servants that are in there. But really, it's like there's a lot of very common enemies that have this tag, so it's going to be very, very good against them. And if she already wasn't beefy enough already being a ruler, she has an invincibility. I mean, she's just kind of nutty, right? Also, yeah, and then almost forgot to even mention she's immune to poison and curse, right? So she can't even be, like, whittled down by the enemy, right? Like, the worst you could do to her is, like, burn her over time. So, I don't know, don't bring her to the Tomoe fight in Shimosa, but she'll probably fold that too, because Tomoe's got, like, 200,000 HP, so Himiko will just, like, punch her in the face once and, you know, knock her lights out. So, yeah, Himiko's pretty dang broken, but you might also be seeing people freak out about Saito over here. Now, Saito's good. He's not bad, right? Like, he's not like a garbage servant or anything, but people mostly like him for his first ascension here because, I don't know, he might look a little familiar. He might bear some resemblance to a certain character from a certain video game franchise. If you know, you know. If you don't, someone will probably tell you. Someone will definitely let you know. But he's not, like, exceptionally, like, broken or anything. He is good. Like, I do really like him, and if I do end up pulling for Himiko and I end up pulling him, I'm not going to be mad. But he's just kind of like a standard .jpeg good servant, right? Like, just, you know, he's got, like, a nice Buster Arts needs going, having an Arts NP. I mean, standard good skills, right? Like, nothing here is really like, oh my goodness. I mean, this is kind of good, right? But it is restricted to the 3 attacks, right? And so is the attack buff, which I kind of get why they did that, because, you know, they want to not make this and this too broken, having the things multiply into each other while also having an arts reduction on his NP that does proc first, by the way, so those are all going to go into each other. His attack is actually kind of high as well, I mean, for kind of a 4-star. So he can do some pretty good damage, he can put in some work, but it's not like he's going to be, like, nuts to butts broken, you know, he's not going to be insane. I mean, if you're already, like, say me, and you have, like, NP5 Saber Lancelot, you're probably going to just continue to use him, or if you farmed Summer 4 or the rerun and you got Hokusai Saber, you're probably still going to use, like, them over, like, pulling this guy at, like, NP1 or something. But he's definitely fun to use, he's not bad. It's just Himiko is definitely the main prize here. Like, she's absolutely insane and just, like, crushes most content in the game. As far as this going to be, like, as far as this being an event that's stressful or not, if you're kind of worried after farming Lotto, I think this is one of those more fun events, kind of in line with, say, like, Summer 1, where it's just kind of like a fun, neat event to play. Like, you can kind of grind and go hard on it, but you're just, like, building up your country and everything, or your little area of the country for this one, and it's just fun. It's nothing super, super intense. Like, you can kind of take it at your own pace. Just make sure you at least use, like, natural AP. Maybe a few apples here and there, which you should have quite a few bronze apples if you farmed boxes. I know I have, like, 400 of those dudes sitting in my inventory now, and I'm like, dude, I have so many apples now. Even though they're bronze, I kind of wish I could just use, like, 14 of them to refill my entire stamina gauge. But that's a whole different topic for a different day. Not hard at all whatsoever. I really wouldn't, like, stress over this event or anything. We're also going to be getting a new free-to-play servant. Make sure you actually go get them. I think it should be under event, but yeah, I could find him. He is going to be available only in the friend point gacha, but he's a limited free-to-play servant, so just do yourself a solid, and as soon as the event drops, just go to the friend point gacha and pull your 5 copies of this guy. You're going to roll the friend point gacha anyway to try to get these 3-star CEs that are up here and there, because you're going to want those for farming. Just go farm, just go get him. Like, just go get him before you forget. Otherwise, you have to wait, like, a whole year before he comes back, right? Because I believe this event has a rerun, but I may be forgetting. I may be confusing this event with something else, because now that we're, like, not getting reruns, things are getting a little more dicey here. I'm like, oh my goodness, we're changing up the formula now. Lisengo, what are we doing, man? I want my reruns. And they're just like, nah, bro, you ain't getting any reruns, which is good for some events. Like, you know, I don't know if I ever want to play Summer 3 ever again, so I would have hoped they would have implemented that, you know, sooner than later. But Summer 4 is one of those events, for an example, that if we didn't get a rerun for that, I'd be a little sad. Or like the Apocrypha event, stuff like that is really good. So I don't know. Regardless and all that stuff, not a bad event. Himiko's really good if you like Himiko for reasons. She's definitely really, really good and worth summoning for. If you get Saito, he's definitely a fun servant to play with. He's not like a shaft or anything. He's definitely really, really solid. And yeah, I'm wishing all of you guys the best of luck on this event. I hope your farming and everything goes well. I hope your polls go well. In the following couple of days, you know, I'll release the proper event guide, and, you know, I'll start getting, like, the Himiko videos and all that stuff out. But for now, we know the event is coming. This is kind of just a cursory little thing, a little warning of it coming out. And with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace. Late, guys.